The basketball season's here. Didn't the World Series just end? It's the earliest season opener in UConn history. Tonight from Gamble Pavilion in the opening round of the preseason WNIT, it's the Fairfield Stags and the Connecticut Huskies. The winner of tonight's game advances to a second round game Sunday afternoon against the winner of tonight's game between Florida International and Stephen F. Austin. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Megan Pattison. Welcome to another season of UConn basketball here on Connecticut Public Television. For the third year in a row, UConn begins the season as the #1 ranked team in the country. And Megan, the Huskies may also have the #1 player in the country.
Yeah, every publication involved with women's basketball has Sue Bird as the preseason player of the year. Looking back, some of the highlights from last year, no one better on the break, pulling up, draining the three, than Susie Q. And defensively here, the nice pick, gets the ball quickly out in transition, and then the nice no-look pass to Swin Cash, who finishes. I tell you what, I think we're gonna see more amazing things out of Sue Bird this season.
And she'll get plenty of help because she's only one of 4 UConn players nominated for the Naismith National Player of the Year award. Now, Fairfield was in the NCAA tournament last year. The Stags lose 2 first-team all-conference players to graduation, but they have back one of the most prolific shot blockers in the country.
Yeah, 6'3" sophomore center Ayanna Brown, 10th in the country last year with 71 blocks. She's got those long arms. She's got great hands, a terrific freshman season. Now, taking a leadership role in only her second season, going to be interesting against the bigger, stronger Husky frontcourt.
No.
So it's opening night here at Gamble Pavilion. The Huskies trying to win their 6th consecutive season opener. And Megan, when you look at this year's UConn team, you think of the team who last year wound up just 2 wins short of a second straight national championship. And the bad news is they lost 2 of the greatest players in school history, and Svetlana Obrosimova and Shea Ralph. The good news is they have a lot of talent back.
Well, they also played the last month or so of the season with this current team, so they have a lot of experience already under their belts going into this season.
Let's meet the starting lineups. The public address announcer here at Gamble Pavilion is John Tewitt.
You can hear that in-house.
Ladies and gentlemen, University of Connecticut would like to welcome you to Harrier Gamble Pavilion for tonight's game featuring the Fairfield Stags and your UConn Huskies. And now this evening's starting lineups for this first round WNIT game. For the visitors from Fairfield, at forward, a 5'11" junior from Roselle, New Jersey, number 4, Shireen Isadora. At guard, a 5'11" freshman from Norwalk, Connecticut, number 11, Kathy Dash. At guard, a 5'5" sophomore from Dayville, Connecticut, number 22, Mary Beth Chartier. At center, a 6'3" sophomore from Norwalk, Connecticut, number 32, Ayanna Brown. And at forward, a 6'even" senior from South Canterbury, New Zealand, number 33, Amy Herford. The assistant coaches for the Stags, John Palladino, Chris Linwell, and Olivia Darty, and Fairfield's head coach in her 22nd season, Diane Nolan. And now the starting lineup for the UConn Huskies. At guard, 6'even" sophomore from Chino, California, number 3, Diana Taurasi. At forward, a 6'2" senior from Piscataway, New Jersey, number 15, Asia Jones. At forward, a 6'2" senior from Dayton, Ohio, number 34, Tamika Williams. At forward, a 6'2" senior from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, number 32, Swin Cash. And at guard, a 5'9" senior from Syosset, New York, number 10, Sue Bird. Connecticut's associate head coach is Chris Daly. The assistant coaches are Tanya Cordoza, Jamel Elliott, and Svetlana Abrosimova. And the head coach of the Huskies in his 17th season, Gino Auriemma.
And Gino Auriemma will be looking for career win number 426 tonight. And Megan, good to see that Tamika Williams will be in the starting lineup tonight. She missed both exhibition games. As we look at the season series, lifetime series between the two schools, she missed both exhibition games with a problem that was diagnosed, and we'll get into it later, thoracic outlet syndrome. But the bottom line is she's been cleared to play and good to go.
Yeah, she went down to New York on Monday, saw a specialist, the best in the country, who deals with that bizarre sort of injury. And fortunately for the Huskies and for the rabid fans, Tamika is in the starting lineup this evening, which I think surprises a lot of us.
Yeah, the condition, the thoracic outlet syndrome, it's basically there's a blood vessel that goes from the neck to the left arm, and it's been compressed by a muscle, and it's caused some pain and numbness. But Gino Auriemma told me this afternoon that when Tamika practiced yesterday and again at the shoot-around, she was moving freely and is experiencing no discomfort. As far as he's concerned, she's 100%.
Well, she's had a messed up back for a long time, so hopefully it will stay healthy this season.
Swin Cash will jump it up with Ayanna Brown, and that's a true rarity, and it's also a violation. Not allowed to catch your own tip. Benita Spence blows the whistle, and it'll be out of bounds on the side to UConn with Asia Jones. Fairfield starts out in a 2-3 zone, and Megan, we will probably see the Stags in a zone for 40 minutes.
Yeah, Diane Nolan told me before the game, definitely going to play a lot of zone. Good hands there, those nice long arms by Brown, and not a bad play by her to catch her the jump ball, because that way she took away the fast break opportunity for the Huskies.
Man-to-man defense for UConn. This is Amy Herford, defended by Tamika Williams, gives up the dribble early. Now looks for the cutter, and it's Isadora with the left side jumper over Taurasi.
Terrific play that time by the Stags. If you're overplayed, you backdoor cut.
Isadora, the third leading scorer on Fairfield's team a year ago. Taurasi, right side three. Bang.
That's not going to make Diane Nolan happy. What she said is they do not want Diana Taurasi to get an open look, particularly early, and that's what will extend that zone and then open it up for the big guys inside.
Taurasi had 71 threes in a banner freshman season, third best in the Big East Conference. Left side, throwing up the shot to freshman Kathy Dash. Rebound in the lane to Bird. Looks for Jones, can't get it to her. Instead, kick out Taurasi, another three. Long rebound to Bird, and no one picked her up.
Well, Fairfield cannot afford to give second chance opportunities, particularly of that kind, where Sue Bird went in uncontested for the layup.
Mary Beth Chartier running the show from the point because of a suspension of Megan Light until December 1st. Light was the Fairfield point guard all last year. Brown puts it on the floor, wild shot, and she kisses it off the glass.
Great tough move by Brown, thought of nothing but finishing, not worrying about the contact.
Taurasi finds Swin Cash for the high post jumper.
Swin Cash has developed that shot now into her arsenal, going to make her very difficult to contain. If you come up, she'll go by you. Now she's got that 15-foot jumper.
Cash, one of those 4 preseason Naismith National Player of the Year award nominees. Right side jump Isadora. Long rebound comes down to Jones. And she's called for traveling before she could direct the ball to Taurasi.
Typical Asia. Not much reaction. A little bump there. Gino, how could she walk by herself? He thought she was fouled, bumped a little bit. Of course, he's never happy with the calls.
You noticed, huh?
He's got the jacket on still. Now that's impressive.
It's early. Ayanna Brown gets the roll, and she has a couple early field goals for the Stags, and we're all even at 6.
I think it's also, it looks like a new suit, so he wants to keep it on, show it off.
Nice look down low. Bird to Tamika Williams. Sue Bird a year ago had 169 assists, third highest single season total in UConn history. Brown playing way far away from the hoop. Herford. Now left side dash. Plays catch with Brown, her high school teammate at Norwalk High School. Long rebound weak side to Isadora. Throws it up over Taurasi. Might have been a little quick on the trigger on that. And a reach-in foul, the first of the evening, will be called on Kathy Dash.
Well, Diane Nolan said she wants her team to really maximize that shot clock every single possession. And she wouldn't even mind if it expired on it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, she told me, Megan, that we'll try to take the air out of the ball. If we get 5 or 6 30-second shot clock violations, I'll be the happiest person in Connecticut. Taurasi, difficult catch, now finds Bird. Down low, Williams puts it on the floor. Kick out Taurasi.
That's a nice extra pass.
Great ball movement, and Cash with the wide open look.
Now, Diana could have shot that ball. I mean, she had the look, was wide open, but that one extra pass, that unselfish play, that trademark of this team.
Isadora dribbles by Taurasi, then shoots over it.
Terrific move that time by Isadora. She used Taurasi.
4 points in the early going for Isadora. Taurasi finds Cash up high. Now right side Bird. Ball fake.
Ooh.
Diane Nolan wanted the travel call, won't get it. Taurasi for 3, her second of the evening.
She was almost at half court.
Diana Taurasi has the 6th best career three-point shooting percentage in UConn history, 38.6% a year ago as a freshman.
You saw the look on her face. I think she's still ticked off. She got scored on the other end.
Chartier defended by Bird. This is Hereford, and away from the play will get a whistle and a 3-second violation by official Frank Geiselman, who's working the game with Benita Spence and Patty Fernandez. Does that remain your favorite call in officiating, the 3-second?
I love Frank, but just talk to him, you know, get him out of it, especially it's early. Come on.
Timeout, 15:42 to go first half. UConn out to an early 5-point lead.
Look, terrific extra pass, finding the open man, and the chemistry that this team has is pretty incredible, and Sue Bird has talked about it already this season. These 4 seniors know each other so well. They live together in these great new senior apartments, which I think are nicer than the apartment that I live in.
Yeah, I understand you're on the waiting list to get in one of those.
I tell you what, I know it's a long drive. I'd come back. They got all kinds of amenities.
Down low, Cash will draw the foul and get to the line for the first free throws of the season. Second foul on the night on the Stags. And instead, it will be Cash going to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And both fouls have been called on Kathy Dash, and that's not a good sign for Diane Nolan.
No, both teams don't have a lot of players on the bench. The Stags are already down a guard because of Megan Light's suspension, and now you got 2 fouls on Dash.
Yvette Rutherford checks in, 5'11" freshman from Broomsgrove, England. Rebound Taurasi, good look to Williams, who draws the foul, and it's right back to the line for the Huskies.
And those, a terrific play by Taurasi, snagging the offensive rebound, and then the nice dish to Williams. But those are plays that Fairfield is going to look back on and say, darn it, we had an opportunity here. We had inside position. All we got to do is step back and box out.
Foul is on Hereford, her first, and Williams misses the first free throw as Diane Nolan discusses things with official Patty Fernandez.
She's working it, man. Diane's the best at that.
Williams misses them both, and the rebound last touched by Cash. So the Huskies struggling, to say the least, from the foul line in the early going. 0 for 4.
And those are things that are unacceptable.
Well, the coat's off now. The coat's off the coach now.
Oh, he's ticked.
Full court pressure employed by the Huskies for the first time. You can't give up your dribble back there. And Bird, how did that not get called a foul? Instead, they say it was last touched by Chartier, and the Huskies will inbound underneath their own basket. Taurasi finds Cash in the lane. Ball fake, goes up, draws the foul. Count it.
Swin Cash is the emotional leader of this team, but she has developed her game so much over the last 4 years. Check this, a nice strong move, gets bumped, yet maintains the concentration and finishes the shot. That's the difference between the good players and the great ones. When you get fouled, hit in traffic, you got to finish finish the play.
Foul on Yvette Rutherford, her first 4 on the team. And at the line will go Cash, who shot only 59% from the line last year and is just 1 for 3 so far tonight.
Huskies need to improve on their free throw shooting. I mean, they shouldn't be shooting 59%.
They shot 68% as a team last year. Ashley Battle in the lineup for the Huskies, replacing Williams. There's the trap. Isidore gets the ball to Chartier. Now back to Isidore. Right side of the lane, Brown. Spins, double team. And let's see what Benita Spence has here. She's going to call the offensive foul on Brown for throwing the elbow. That's number 1 on Brown, and very quickly Fairfield with 5 team fouls. And Meg, they've come in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's not good for the Stags, but you know, people have referred to Swing Cash as a drama queen. I think that running up court, wincing in pain, helped prove that theory.
Left side, Bird for 3. Front rims it. Rebound off the hands of Jones, and it's chased down by Isidore. Chartier directing traffic. Gets the screen from Herford. Right side, Isidore. That's a 3. And in great rebound position was Brown, but she couldn't control it, and she touched it last.
It's a great quick release there on the opposite side by Isidore.
Kelsey DeWalt checks in the lineup for Fairfield, 6-foot junior out of Cy-Fair High School in Cypress, Texas. Only 9 players dressed tonight for the Stags because of an injury, a suspension, an academic casualty, and another player is sitting out the year because she transferred from Jacksonville. Down low, Battle gets it blocked, gets it back, kick out Tarazi for a long 3, and a long rebound pulled down by Chartier. Isidore, left side, Rutherford. Gives to Herford. Chartier picks up her dribble. Rutherford with 10 left on the shot clock. Chartier defended by Bird, doubled by Cash. Shot clock down to 5. Herford has it knocked away by Cash. But first we're going to get a whistle and a foul on UConn. I think it will be Asia Jones.
And Asia is still standing in the position she was in when the whistle blew. There's the dump in, hands up. She moved in with that hip a little bit, the left hip.
And to the free throw line, Megan, will go Amy Herford, a 6-foot senior who played at Bristol Eastern High School here in Connecticut, but she hails from South Canterbury, New Zealand.
How about that? You leave New Zealand, you come to a foreign country, and you play for Tony Floyd at Bristol Eastern. Holy cow.
Fairfield hanging in, down by 6. We've played 6.5 minutes. Down low, Cash, and cutting into the passing lane to pick it off with Chartier. Rutherford, defended by Battle. Here's Herford, defended by Cash. Now Chartier will try to reset the offense. Herford with the shot clock down to 10. Down low, DeWalt spins on Asia Jones.
Nice tough move by DeWalt, a little baby hook. They've done well, you cannot block it. Nice execution.
No look pass Tarazi to Jones. Her pass is deflected and stolen by Isidore. Fairfield down 4 with the ball.
I don't know if the Huskies expected Fairfield to just roll over and die, but you know, they got a pretty good tradition there at Fairfield. They're a tough team, went to the NCAA tournament the last 2 years. Diane knows what she's doing.
And away from the play, we'll get a foul on Fairfield. I think it's on DeWalt. If so, that will be her first. And it looks like that's number 7 on the Stags, so UConn will get a bunch of free throw opportunities in the last 12.5 minutes.
It's too bad for Fairfield. Did such a tremendous job defensively. But you want to convert on the opposite end of the floor, and then to have a foul away from the ball takes a wind out of your sails.
So at the free throw line is Ashley Battle, and she misses the front end of the 1-on-1. Good hustle to get the rebound. It's a held ball. Possession arrow points toward Fairfield. And checking into the lineup, making her collegiate debut for UConn, Jessica Moore, a 6'3" redshirt freshman from Palmer, Alaska.
Well, let me tell you something. The one-on-ones won't do anything for you if you don't knock down the first one.
UConn 1 of 6 from the foul line in the early going.
That's just mental stuff.
Left side, Rutherford. Tries to go on Battle, who will be called for the reach-in foul. That's number 1 on Ashley and number 2 on UConn. Gino Auriemma told me this afternoon, Megan, that he feels that Ashley Battle is an absolutely key component. UConn's starting lineup is loaded, but their bench is somewhat inexperienced, and Battle could play a key role this year.
Well, she's such a tremendous spark off of the bench. She's got unbelievable athleticism. She's a complete pest defensively, and she'll expand her role on the offensive end, but she passes, she rebounds, she knows her role.
Not sure what DeWalt was looking to do there, but she threw the ball over the end line. Fairfield turned the ball over 38 times in a rather ugly effort against the New York Gazelles.
63 turnovers in that game. How about that? Took a week to play it.
And we're going to get an offensive foul on setting the screen on the Huskies. I think there will be call on Jessica Moore. That's her first 3 on the team. That brings us to a timeout. It's been ugly in the early going. 11:54 to go in the half. UConn by 4.
UConn.
Coming up tonight after the game, a Life 360. It is delightful, emotional, and cool, says the New York Times. Long live Life 360. It's more than just a new series. It's a series of surprises. Life 360, 10:30 p.m. CPTV tonight.
Well, he's got a comfortable seat there. 53rd.
I don't know about her.
53rd straight sellout here at Gamble. 10,027 in the house. Huskies have had a great deal of success here, winning their last 22 times. Left side, Isidore misses the 3. Rebound Taraji. Here's Bird, and the Huskies looking to run. And look at Moore get out on that break. That's a good sign.
Jessica can get up and down the floor. And you know number 10 is going to find you.
First points in the UConn career for Jessica Moore, who was redshirted last year. The first non-medical redshirt during Gino Auriemma's coaching days here at UConn.
There have been a few players through the years that he didn't do it with, and he wish he would have.
And a traveling violation will be called on DeWalt down low.
It's a great decision to sit Jessica here. She played for him this summer on that USA World Championship team, junior world team.
Bird with the pull-up in the lane.
Going to see a lot more of that this year from Sue Bird. Aggressive offensively. Last year she wanted to get it to Shea and Svet. Now it's all Susie Q.
Third and fourth points of the evening for Bird.
Diana got away with a little bump there, huh?
Here's Chartier, defended by Bird. Rutherford right side, and Tarazi steps into the passing lane and deflects it out of bounds. 11 seconds left on the shot clock for Fairfield, and our first look at the evening at Katie Hammerer. And Swen Cash returns for the Huskies. Hammerer, a 6'2 freshman from Springfield, Virginia. So Moore sits down after scoring her first 2 collegiate points. Isidore to inbound on the side. Again, the winner of this one will meet the winner of the Stephen F. Austin Florida International game. That will be Sunday afternoon. If it's UConn, it will be right here, and you'll see it at 2 o'clock Sunday here on CPTV. Bird, the no-look behind the back pass to Morgan Valley, who checks in for the Huskies. Tarazi, no-look to Cash. And Diane Nolan wants a timeout.
Everyone talks about Diana Tarazi's propensity to shoot threes, but she loves dishing the ball more than anything. They're a tremendous example.
Timeout Fairfield, as the Huskies have come out of the TV timeout with a 6-0 run and a 10-point lead.
Here, you think she's going to dribble, maybe shoot, guns it down to Cash wide open. Fairfield fell asleep a little bit. That back guy on the defensive end has got to know where everybody is on the floor.
Chatting with Gino Auriemma today, Megan, we discussed the fact that he'll be going with basically a 2-guard lineup. He loves to play 3 perimeter players at a time, but with the graduation of Ralph and Abrosimova, And the front court experience returning, you really can't do that. And he said it may slow us down a bit. We may not attempt as many threes, but all three of our forwards are certainly more accustomed to playing inside. Now the responsibilities are different, but Asia Jones and Swin Cash have done a great job adjusting.
Well, one thing that Gino's been able to do the 17 years he's been here is, you have to adjust your style of coaching to the personnel you have, and he's really good at it. And these kids, certainly the senior class, is mature enough to know what they need to do to win.
Isadora left side jumper over Taurasi. She hits a tough shot, and she's got 6. Isadora, a preseason second-team All-Metro Atlantic Conference selection. Taurasi looking for someone to bail her out. Williams with the good hustle. Taurasi, cross-court Bird, tough catch on a hop, and she buries the 3. Just like it was diagrammed, huh?
Yeah, not one of the prettier plays. Now, Diana went in that time. She, again, was ticked off that Isadora scored on her, forced it a bit, and was lucky that the team came away with a 3.
Bird looked like Derek Jeter picking up that ball on a hop, and a long 3 at the other end. Isadora now with 8 points.
Well, she comes in as one of their best players, preseason second-team All-MAC.
Williams down low has the shot blocked, but a foul will be called. This one will be on Hammerer, her first. And that's what she did. She hammered it. 8th on the Stags. Actually, she just got a little bit of the body. Take another look.
Good post up there. Facing up. See, that's where Williams is so good. That was a pretty good block. That's where Tamika Williams and Swin Cash, Asia Jones are so good at getting the ball and then sizing up the defense. They're facing up, and Tamika's quick enough that she can get by most post players with a quick step.
Williams 0 for 3 from the line. Well,
what do you think they're going to do tomorrow in practice?
It gets uglier and uglier for the Huskies, who are now 1 for 8 from the line tonight. Bird defending Chartier. Isadora guarded by Valley. UConn by 9. Isadora with the pull-up. Rebound in the lane to Bird. They look to run. Maria Conlon is checked in. The feed to Cash. And what did Gino say about those post players being able to get up and down the floor? There's a good example.
Well, these post players have it pretty easy. All they have to do is run, because if you run up and down the floor, you're going to get the ball, because Sue and Diana are such outstanding passers.
11 points for Cash. Isadora spins and shoots over Conlon. Rebound in the lane pulled down by Cash. Outlet to Conlon. Cross-court Bird. Somehow gets by Chartier. Kicks it into the lane to Williams. Has it blocked. Back out to Bird for 3. Her second 3 of the night.
Credit Sue Bird. See, she could have easily taken the 2, but had the presence of mind to line those feet up behind the arc and got that extra point.
So the lead is up to 14 for the Huskies. Left side jumper is up and in by Katie Rusi, who just checked into the lineup for the Stags. So Diane Nolan has played all 9 of her players now. Rusi, a 5'11 freshman from Haddonfield, New Jersey. Bird up high to Cash. Conlon down low. Cash. Nice spin move with the left. No good. Rebound Tamika Williams in her office.
Yeah, aren't too many people better at getting position inside than Tamika Williams, exactly where she wanted to be.
Williams, through her first 3 years at UConn, a phenomenal 70.2% career field goal shooter, the best in Husky history, and Conlon picks a pocket at the other end.
Well, that's what Maria's got to do. I mean, everyone knows she's a three-point shooter, and she's terrific behind the arc, but got to do it on the defensive end, too.
Cash now with 13 points. And the UConn lead is up to 15.
Again, that's the difference with Swin Cash's game this year. A 15-foot jumper.
With lights suspended, Chartier may have to play all 40 minutes, and already she looks a little winded. Conlon to Bird. Catch and shoot. And the lead is 17.
Terrific timing there by Maria Conlon. Waited till knew she couldn't thread the needle to Bird, and Bird kept running. And the nice pass on the short side of the basket.
Between them, Bird and Cash have outscored Fairfield by 6. 13 for Cash and a dozen for Bird. Chartier, shot clock at 10. Right side Hammerer. Time running down on the shot clock. Chartier tries to shoot over Bird. Hits the side of the backboard. Rebound Bird. Ahead to Valley. She has Conlon on the left. Instead, she takes it to the hoop and will be called for the offensive foul. Or is it a block?
I think Bonita Spence went with the offensive.
Yep. Offensive foul will be called on Morgan Valley. That's her first 4 on the team, and Gina Auriemma redefining wholesale substitution as 4 players entered. Timeout, 5:47 to go in the half. Sue Bird to Swin Cash for 2 of Swin's 13 points. It's UConn by 17.
Although she used the wrong hand, you got to use the hand closest to the ball. But nice timing, nice decision. And as I said before, that's what Conlon's got to do. I mean, she's got to come in games like this and step it up this year. I mean, she had some good minutes off the bench last year, and there's an opportunity for her now.
There's no question that Conlon's role has changed with the graduation losses for the Huskies. Conlon, a prolific three-point shooter in high school, in fact holds the Connecticut high school record for most three-pointers in a season and a career.
But she's got to believe that she can come in and be a consistent performer on this team and a contributor.
Kathy Dash takes it to the hole. Freshman from Norwalk High School. First 2 points of her collegiate career. On the left, it's Battle. Pass off the hands of Cash and winds up in the lap of Taurasi. Jones finds more again. Great ball movement. Battle's pass in the lane stolen by Chartier. Taurasi gets back very quickly to head off the break. DeWalt to Chartier. Cross court to Dash. Defended by Battle. Inside the 5-minute mark, UConn by 15. Opening round of the preseason WNIT. Isadora front rims it, and way up for the rebound is Cash. Down low, Asia Jones.
Wide open breakdown defensively for Fairfield. Just no communication. I think Stags are a little tired.
First 2 points for Jones, who scored 36 points in the 2 exhibition games for UConn. Shot by Dash is blocked, but Battle and Jones were there, and one of them will be whistled for a foul. It will be Battle, and it will be number 2 on Ashley.
That arm coming down. I mean, yeah, there was some body contact. But when you come down like that, like a hatchet, they're going to call it no matter what.
So at the free throw line, Kathy Dash, a 5'11" freshman, who was a high school teammate of her Fairfield teammate Ayanna Brown. Sue Bird back in for the Huskies, replacing Swin Cash, who leaves with 13 points. Dash scored 1,354 points in her high school career. That's the second most in Norwalk high school history. Averaged 16 points and 12 rebounds per game last year as a senior. Speaking of Norwalk High School, one of the Norwalk High School alums is in the house. Rita Williams, former UConn great.
And she's a Norwalk girl. Rita actually went to Brian McMahon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lives in Norwalk.
Yep, that's where she's from.
Left side, Conlon, and her first 3 of the evening.
Can't give her a look.
A year ago, Conlon had 19 threes in limited playing time, shot 42% from behind the arc.
It was a great lift, and 7 of 10 in 2 games last year, late in the season.
Isadora and Chartier got mixed up in their signals there. Timeout, 3:49 remaining, and Diane Nolan Stags trail by 18. Fairfield with 3:49 to go in the half.
He's liking the food, though. Well, coming up Tuesday on CPT.
Night, Taurasi, left side jumper. Rebound pulled down by Chartier, the smallest player on the floor. 5'5". This is Isadora, back to Chartier. Dash Nice cut for the basket without the ball by Isadora.
Now, Diana got used that time because her man cut back door, but see, there's got to be a big guy coming over to help out there.
10 points for Isadora, who was the co-rookie of the year in the MAC, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, 2 years ago. Jones misses the jumper. Rebound down low. Moore, last touch by the Stags. So Fairfield will, UConn will inbound beneath its basket to the right. Swin Cash will return for the Huskies. The last time these two teams played was in the NCAA tournament here at Gamble back in 1998. The Huskies won that one 93-52. They've won 6 straight against Fairfield, and overall leads in the series 10-5.
Well, Asia Jones just came out that time. She had forced that last shot, a little bit out of sync offensively.
Conlon left side. Rebound Cash, and as she starts to go back up, she forgot to put the ball on the floor. So a traveling violation for UConn.
She's so relentless. I love watching Swin play. I mean, she plays hard no matter what is going on in the game.
Turnover number 7 for the Huskies. Chartier signals for the play with her right hand, then gives to Isadora. Back to Chartier on the switch, defended by the much taller Moore. Moore's got almost a foot on her. Shot clock running down. Isadora. Shot clock finally would have expired had Moore not stolen the ball. Here's a 2-on-0, and Taurasi lays it in.
Well, Fairfield doesn't want to give up any easy fast break opportunities such as that. You got to hustle back.
7 points for Taurasi, who is also a preseason Naismith nominee. The only non-senior among the Huskies, among the 4 Huskies nominated for the Naismith Award. Rebound off the hands of Conlon to Cash. Here's Bird. 1-on-2, drives on Chartier and draws the foul and went down hard, but gets up okay.
Uh-oh. She's in pain. With all of the injuries that have afflicted the Huskies the last couple of years, anytime anyone goes down, I always get a pit in my stomach because so many players have been sidelined. And it's those 3 letters, last year it happened again to Shea Ralph. Tamika Catchings at Tennessee, it's happened to Sue her freshman year. There's been so many horrible injuries, and you hate to see it.
Bird played her first 8 games of her freshman year and missed the rest of the year with a torn ACL, but has rebounded very nicely from it. UConn was 8-0, by the way, at the time that happened. Bird has been on the winning team in 113 of the last 117 games she's played. That goes back to her high school days at Christ the King in New York.
She just finds a way to get it done.
She's got 14 points tonight. Right side, Rutherford is double teamed and is called for the travel. That will be turnover number 9 for the Stags.
Better defensive pressure that time by the Huskies. The Stags have done a really nice job, though, handling this pressure. This was the first time. There you saw the steps.
UConn led the Big East in turnover margin a year ago. Down low, Taurasi, no good. Cash gets a hand on the rebound, then pulls it down herself. Then she has it knocked away by Rutherford, who directs it to her teammate Dash. As we approach the 1-minute mark, Chartier pass deflected by Bird.
She got away with a carry there.
Fairfield to inbound on the side in front of the UConn bench, which, by the way, now includes a new student assistant coach by the name of Abrosimova, who is here for, I guess, 1 more semester, finishing up her degree.
Finish up in December.
A kick called. There's Svetlana.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk of her hair or her clothes or something. I just know there's a lot of people in this arena very happy to see her sitting there.
Had an outstanding rookie year with Minnesota in the WNBA as she rebounded very nicely from her season-ending foot injury suffered at Tennessee last year. On the drive, Dash no good. Rebound put back up by Herford, no good, but she'll draw the foul. In fact, during the pregame introductions, I think the new student assistant coach got a louder ovation than the head coach.
That's no surprise. She's way more popular than Gino is. But sitting right next to Sveta, to her left, our right, is also a new assistant coach, the director of basketball operations. There he is, Jack Eisman. He was up in Canada for the last about 12 years. And he and Gino knew each other back in high school. So it's a great addition to the staff. He's a good guy. Obviously thinking very hard right now. He was completely zoned out.
Hope he's not the free throw coach. Bird right side to Razi. Bird down low, Cash puts it on the floor and spins. Swin Cash with 15 points in the first 19 and a half minutes.
How smooth is Swin Cash? That was a sick move.
Isadora. That's the game clock in your lower right corner. DeWalt to Isadora. Shot clock is inside 10. Isadora throws it up. No good. Rebound to Razi, and the shot clock is off with 8 seconds remaining in the half. Conlon to Razi. Pull up, left side jumper. Rebound pulled down by Cash. Rebound Cash again, but time expired. So a very productive first half for the 1-2 punch of Sue Bird and Swin Cash for Gino Auriemma's club. 15 points for Cash, 14 points for Bird. Between them, they outscored Fairfield by 2. A very productive first half for the senior from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Her Huskies lead it by 20. Let's take a look, Megan, at some first half highlights. Big first half for Shireen Isadora for Fairfield.
The nice pump fake got Tarazi to bite, knocked it down for 2 of her 10 points, and then Sue Bird, terrific on the break. The no look to Swin Cash, who wanted a foul.
And as we look at the first half statistics, the Huskies certainly had their way with the points in the paint and off the fast break.
Yeah, a lot of things went their way, although I think they, as well as everyone in this building, was surprised at Fairfield and the way they played. Fairfield hung tough. Did some really good things. I know Diane Nolan's got to be pretty happy here, starting the second half with a pick.
Chartier with the steal. Cross court to Isadora, who managed to squeeze off 15 shots in 19 minutes of playing time. First half. Into the post it goes to Herford, who was fouled from behind, I believe, by Tarazi. That will be number 1 on Diana. The winner of this one will get the winner of tonight's Florida International Stephen F. Austin game in round 2 on Sunday. Florida International was leading by 11 late first half at last report. Down low, Tamika Williams head fake, has the shot partially blocked, gets it back. And Tarazi for 3.
Sue Bird knew that she was going to dish that to Tarazi. Williams got rid of it from inside. You see Tarazi look on her face there like, come on, you guys. I don't think they're real happy with the effort defensively, or at least with what happened there in that first 20.
10 points for Tarazi. Ahead it goes to Bird, who drives on Isadora and has it knocked away and out of bounds. Meg, how about the first half line on Sue Bird?
You want to talk about a productive 18 minutes. 5 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 3 behind that three-point arc. Perfect from the free throw line. 4 for 4, 4 rebounds, 14 points, 7 assists, and a steal.
Make it 8 assists. As he just sets up Asia Jones for the backdoor lay. But Bird did miss a shot there in the first 20 minutes. She'll have to work on that.
Yeah, well, you know, got a lot of work to do.
Timeout Diane Nolan, just 1:08 into the second half. The UConn lead is up to 25 points. We'll step aside with 18:52 remaining. Bird to Jones for a couple more. Back at Gamble Pavilion, where UConn is out to a comfortable 25-point lead over Fairfield in the opening round of the preseason WNIT. We mentioned a couple of times the winner of this one will meet the winner of tonight's Florida International Stephen F. Austin game in round 2. That will be Sunday. So if the Huskies can hang on to this 25-point lead, Megan and I will be right back at you Sunday at 2 o'clock on CPTV for the second round game. The semifinal game of this tournament, it's a 16-team field, will be next Thursday night. And if it's UConn, it'll be here at Gamble Pavilion at 7:30, and we'll have that one for you. And Megan, some potential semifinal opponents for the Huskies: Temple, Evansville, North Carolina, or George Mason.
And I think the odds-on favorite there is North Carolina. That's, I think, the way, if it was scripted perfectly, I think that's how it would play out.
North Carolina tonight is at home against George Mason. Temple at home against Evansville tonight. Then the 8 teams in the other side of the bracket, potential opponents in the finals for UConn should they get there: New Mexico, Pacific, Colorado, Oral Roberts, Oregon State, Loyola Marymount, and Vanderbilt, Eastern Kentucky. There we see that's UConn's half of the bracket. Again, the winner of this one gets either Florida International or Stephen F. Austin, and then Temple, Evansville, North Carolina, and George Mason also playing tonight, and the winner of those 2 games will meet in round 2 on Sunday as well. However many games UConn plays in the preseason WNIT, you will see them all right here on Connecticut Public Television. And the Huskies' first game after that will be on November 24th. That's Thanksgiving weekend, Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, at the Hartford Civic Center against the Rhode Island Rams. Every UConn game will be televised this season. Chartier out to Isidore. This is a 3. Misses everything. And the rebound is picked up inside and laid back in by Kathy Dash.
Dash untouched that time going in for the rebound.
And Diana Taurasi with her 3rd three-pointer of the night, her 2nd this half, so she's got 13 points. Taurasi, a preseason 2nd-team All-Big East choice.
How about that? Like any coach in the Big East would not want her on their team in the starting 5. And yet she's a Naismith, preseason Naismith candidate, but yet she's not good enough to be preseason first team in the Big East. Bunch of goofs.
So following the Fairfield turnover, it will be UConn ball. The Huskies, #1 in both the Associated Press and the ESPN USA Today preseason polls. It's the 3rd straight year that they've been #1 in one or both polls. And Taurasi with her 3rd three-pointer here in the first 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the second half. She's got 16 points in the game. So among them, Taurasi, Bird, and Cash have scored 45 points. Dash down the lane with a wild shot that goes in. And the foul.
Nice take by Kathy Dash. That takes a sting away from 3 Diana Taurasi threes on the opposite end. The nice crossover. Jones tried to step up there and take that charge. Got there a little bit late. Great concentration by Dash to get it to go.
Dash had a big game against the New York Gazelles in Fairfield's exhibition game last Monday. 14 points and 12 rebounds, although she was just 5 of 17 from the floor in that game, and she turned it over 10 times. She's got 9 points tonight in her first collegiate game. Down low, great look from Jones to Williams.
That's what makes these post players so good for the Huskies. Every single one of them can pass and pass extremely well.
Jones had a real good look at things from the top of the circle there at 6'2". 3 minutes gone, second half. The UConn lead is 28. Dash, and as she starts to go away from the play, we'll get a whistle from Benita Spence, and I think this one will go on Asia Jones. It's #2 on Jones. Diane Nolan, 383 wins and 257 losses at Fairfield. This is her 23rd season, 5-time MAC Coach of the Year. She's already been inducted into the Fairfield Alumni Association Hall of Fame. Has taken her team to the NCAA tournament 4 times, including a year ago, losing in the opening round to Utah. Chartier pass knocked out of bounds last touch by the Huskies with 22 seconds left on the shot clock.
I mean,
and they're going to call it a kick, so they'll recycle the clock.
I mean, Diane, she's an institution. I mean, she's been at Fairfield forever. The last 20 seasons, she's had 16 winning seasons. She's done a tremendous job.
Baseline turnaround by Brown, no good. Cash with the rebound. Up the floor, knocked away by Chartier. Taurasi then deflects it to herself. That rebound by Cash was her 10th, so that's the 15th double-double of her career.
Let me tell you, Swing Cash was working so hard in the lane, you knew Sue Bird would find her. She was posting up so hard, and it's, as a former post player, I mean, I understand when you're posting hard, man, you want the ball. There, it got batted away. Williams kicks it out. And look at Swin, she's working in there. That shot sort of defied physics, the way she got that thing to go in.
Bird now with a dozen assists to go with her 14 points, so she has the rather non-traditional double-double, points and assists. Cash with the points, rebounds, double-double. So here we still got 16 minutes left. We have a couple of players with double-doubles. Bird, Cash, Taurasi, and Tamika Williams are the 4 Huskies who are preseason nominees for the Naismith National Player of the Year Award. Bird, the preseason Associated Press Player of the Year. Taurasi with the block, looks up the court, finds Bird. Nice job by Chartier. Here's a 2-on-1 with Taurasi back. Chartier over Taurasi, and the rebounder Williams.
That's a great play by Taurasi. You would rather give up a jumper on the break.
Bird, nice look for Cash, but Cash did not look the ball into her hands.
It's the second time tonight it's been through Swinney's hands.
Morgan Valley returns for the Huskies, but first we'll get a timeout. 15:50 to go on opening night, and UConn leads it by 31. On career, already with 14 points and a career-high 12 assists. And that 14 and 12, Meg, represents Sue's first career double-double.
And it's a great look. Nice closeout there by Asia to put the defense on her back. Little reverse layup. Made that career-high 12 look really pretty. You know, and Sue does have 5 rebounds. You know, it's conceivable that Susie could get 5 more and get a triple-double.
I'm telling you, there's not a chance in the world that's going to happen.
Well, the last person to do that was Laura Lishnas back in 1989.
She's your teammate, right?
That's right.
You overlapped with her. First Final Four team for UConn in 1991 down in New Orleans. My partner was on that team, so was Laura Lishnas. Also, you had that some player up front scored a lot of points. What was her name?
Carrie Bascom.
Yeah, she scored a bunch of points. Second leading scorer in UConn history is Carrie Bascom.
It was great. She was back for the Super Show a couple weeks ago. It was nice to see Carrie.
Following the television timeout, Rutherford will be called for the travel. So Fairfield, after tonight's game, will have its home opener a week from tonight against Boston College, and that'll be an exciting night for the Stags. They have a brand new facility, the arena at Harbor Yard in Bridgeport, and Boston College will be there next Friday to open it up. Cash with the left hand, no good. Rebound Bird to Taurasi. The no-look kick out to Valley. Misses the 3. Cash with the rebound. I think she's going to get called for the push with the left hand, however. And she does. This is the first of at least 3 Big East opponents on Fairfield's schedule this year. We mentioned the Boston College game next week. The Stags will also play Georgetown, and they could play Villanova. Those 2 teams could meet in the final of Fairfield's tournament, the Warner Classic. Stags played 4 games against the Big East last year, split the 4. Pass inside is no good, but Herford draws the foul, and she'll get to the line. A year ago, Fairfield defeated Miami and Boston College and lost to Villanova and Providence. They've had 2 straight 25-win seasons, Megan.
I mean, they had their first ever at-large bid last year to the NCAA tournament, and you know, Diane's theory is, you know what, for us to get better, well, we got to play and we got to beat the best teams out there. So that's why, coming from a conference like the Metro Athletic Atlantic Conference, what is it, Metro
Atlantic Athletic, the other way around.
you know, to play against the 4 Big East teams is what you got to do. You don't want to play against stiffs that are going to be an easy win for you. You want to play teams that are going to make you better.
Taurasi gives to Bird. Pull-up jumper. And Bird now has 16 points.
She's just so fun to watch play.
Bird, a 2-time winner of the Nancy Lieberman Klein Award, which goes to the outstanding point guard of the country. Won it as a sophomore and again last year as a junior. Steal by Taurasi, but then she proceeded to fall out of bounds with it. So it will be Stags ball with 14 left on the shot clock as Kathy Dash returns to the lineup for Fairfield. Fairfield has been to the NCAA tournament 4 times, but each time has lost in the opening round. They lost at Utah, who was ranked 15th in the country at the time. And last March, Stags have also been to the WNIT, losing the opening round to Wisconsin 2 years ago. They were the runner-up in the MAC a year ago, finishing 2nd in the regular season and losing in the conference tournament championship game to Siena. Dash off the glass, and she's got 11 points in double figures in her first collegiate game.
Well, that time Jessica Moore got there from the weak side just a little too late.
Nice look down low. Valley to Jones, who missed the layup. Long rebound knocked out by Moore, controlled by Taurasi. Kick out Bird for 3.
Credit that to Diana Taurasi for saving it. And then the nice skip pass over to Bird, wide open.
Bird with 19 points. Bird is UConn's all-time leader in career three-point shooting percentage, 45.5% entering the ball game, and she's buried 3 of 4 tonight. She's 7 of 8 from the floor overall tonight. Foul will be called on Taurasi again.
I believe that was more of a mugging.
Well, and on that score, because, you know, we mentioned that UConn is certainly not as deep when it comes to the perimeter players this year. Gino Auriemma says Bird and Taurasi are going to have to play more minutes. They're going to have to stay out of foul trouble, and they need to stay healthy. There's a lot of pressure on these 2 kids. They know that the players behind them are inexperienced. And Meg, of course, last year, early in the year, Taurasi had a problem with giving away too many fouls.
Yeah, Diana had a lot of silly fouls last year, and if that replicates itself, well, that'll be a problem. They need her on the floor.
Brown looks down low, knocked away, last touch by Bird with 18 left on the shot clock. It's been a very quiet night for Ayanna Brown. She's got 4 points, and believe it or not, Meg has yet to pull down a rebound. Dash spins and fires, and the rebound weak side comes to Maria Conlon. Conlon to Valley, who loses it in front of the UConn bench. Have yet to see Morgan's kid sister, Ashley, who's a freshman on this UConn squad. Only 11 players on the UConn team this year. Only 10 scholarship players.
Well, we're used to seeing like 42 people sitting on that bench, you know, but back in the day, you know, there were times 9, 10 people, and, you know, you just got to use what you got.
Conlon down low to Jones, who tried to one time. It might not have been the best idea. That was turnover number 12 for Fairfield, precipitating that break. Dash for 3. Good inside rebound position to Brown, so there's her first rebound of the night, and she immediately draws a foul. Brown last year, in her freshman year, blocked 71 shots. Not only led Fairfield, led the MAC conference, 10th in the country. And after only 1 year, Meg, Ayanna Brown is already tied for 6th in Fairfield's career blocked shot category.
How about that? 1 season. Be fun to see what she does the remaining 3 years of her career.
She made the MAC all-rookie team last year.
That pass.
Pass goes down low to Moore, who can't get it to fall, but she draws the foul.
What was so great about that pass, Bob, is that it Searbird on the dribble with her left hand guns that in there. Here's see the crossing over. And it wasn't like there was a lot of room for error there either.
First look at Moore at the line. Boy, she really bends those knees and gets low to the floor as part of her delivery. Now Bird will sit down for the Huskies with 19 points, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds so far. Moore had 15 points and 4 rebounds in 24 minutes, and the Huskies win over Remus Power Basket, one of their 2 exhibition games. Some very colorful names for the exhibition opponents.
Yeah. I'm just glad we didn't have to do that game with some of the players on the team.
Well, you may regret saying that when you get a look at some of the names on Florida International if we wind up doing that on Sunday.
I'll eat my words once again.
Chartier misses the shot, and on the rebound, a foul will be called on the Huskies. Speaking of the Huskies, Diane Nolan was, and she told me their seniors are on a mission to win another national championship. They seem very focused. They're extremely unselfish. They all seem to have that sixth sense. They can hurt you in so many ways.
Well, they do have an incredible chemistry, and that's just from being around each other and spending a lot of time together. As I said before, they live together, and they're all really good friends, and that sort of thing translates onto the floor. And it's stuff you can't coach, you can't teach. You just hope you have it, and they certainly have it.
Isidore at the foul line. She now has a dozen points. Ashley Battle, pass inside, goes slightly behind Williams. That's turnover number 13 for the Huskies.
It's tough to pass it up there. That's where all the hands are. You got to pump fake and bounce it in there.
Herford to Isadora on the left wing. Pass comes down low. DeWalt misses the shot. Rebound, Taurasi saves to her teammate, Battle. Valley down low. Williams has good position, puts it on the floor and lays it in. 8 points for Tamika Williams, who shot a stunning 75.9% from the floor a year ago. We mentioned she sat at the 2 exhibition games. Gino Auriemma said today it's not like she'd get out of rhythm. All she does is park it down low and make those 2-foot layups. He said that in a very endearing way, I might add.
Well, as only he can.
Isadora misses the shot. Rebound, Conlon gives to Valley. Valley all alone inside. There's Williams with another one of those 2-footers.
But she did a nice job running the floor to get there. Got to give my post player her props.
She becomes the 4th Husky in double figures tonight. She's got 10. So the UConn lead is 34 as we approach the 10-minute mark in the second half. DeWalt head fake. The up and under move gets her own rebound. Now kick out to Isadora. Taurasi deflected it. Isadora feeds Herford.
Terrific pass.
8 points for Herford, who missed 9 games a year ago with an illness. Played 21 games and had 18 points and 18 rebounds. Williams down low again. So she's got a dozen. Now that wasn't your ordinary 2-footer. She had to put it on the floor.
Well, when they do that drill every day in practice, that little step out spot, the short corner, catch, turn, power dribble to the basket, get the defense on your back, and they're a few better at it than Tamika.
Left side dash. Rebound Taurasi, outlet to Battle. Has Conlon on the right, then the trailer Williams back to Battle, who draws the foul and will get to the line. So there, another example. We mentioned UConn with fewer perimeter players this year. They need those post players to get up and down the floor, and Williams did a great job of it that time.
Well, Battle did the right thing. You give it up, you'll get it back. And it was a good foul that time by Chartier.
A year ago, Ashley Battle played 5 games, then suffered a season-ending elbow injury. And as a result, she was able to be redshirted medically, so she still has 4 years of eligibility left. She had a double-double in the exhibition game against Remus Power Basket, 11 points and 11 rebounds in 23 minutes. Gino Auriemma really high in her defensive abilities.
Well, Well, she's relentless. She gets in that stance, and she's in your face, and she's a pest. I'd hate to play against her.
Timeout, 9:37 to go in the ball game. Maria Conlon looking for Tamika Williams and finding her. It's UConn by 36. 40 with 9:37 to go.
Bob, coming up Tuesday on CPTV, are you tired of the confusing and even contradiction?
Class ever to be ranked #1 at some point in each of their 4 seasons.
It's unbelievable. But, you know, it's a standard that you set. You raise the bar, and you need to maintain it. And they got another commitment today from WNIT Crockett. Another verbal commitment.
That would be the 3rd for the Huskies. Tell us about her.
Well, she's a 6'2" forward from Narbonne High in Harbor City, California.
There's the final. Florida International beats Stephen F. Austin, so it will be Florida International hopping on a plane tomorrow morning to head up here for the UConn game in the 2nd round.
So WNIT Crockett is a great addition. She chose UConn over Rutgers, Purdue, Ohio State, and UCLA. 11 points, 10 boards, ranked #1 by USA Today.
Morgan Valley gives to Bird, and it went down low to Morgan's kid sister Ashley Valley, and a 3-second violation on the Huskies. We mentioned it's the 3rd verbal commitment. The national letter of intent signing period, one of the 2 periods, begins next week. The other 2 verbal commitments have come from Jillian Goring, 6'7", out of Trinidad by way of Waterloo, Iowa. That's where she plays her high school ball. And Nicole Wolf out of Malden, Massachusetts, who's the daughter of former UConn player Dennis Wolf, who's the head basketball coach of the Boston University men's team. Nicole averaged 23 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals last year in her junior year.
Well, they had that turnover by Sue Bird. I think she just spazzed out and lost the ball.
Spin move in the lane by Hammerer. The shot doesn't fall, but she does draw the foul. And to the free throw line will go Hammerer. Mentioning this senior class, Gino Auriemma said, we feel like we should be in position to contend for a national championship every year. This senior class has been ranked #1 at some point every year, so they think another championship would be a realistic goal. Of course, everybody likes to start the preseason thinking they can win the national championship, but the reality of it is there aren't many teams that really have a legitimate shot at it. But UConn's certainly one of a handful each year that does have that shot.
And he has said recently that if we're not in that position, well, then I'm not doing my job.
And he says that he feels that the disappointing loss and how it happened to Notre Dame in the semifinals last year, Final Four in St. Louis, has stayed with this team. It's sort of a bitter taste in their memories, and they would like very much to rectify it. Especially how it happened, because the Huskies had a big lead in the first half of that game.
You know, situations like that and games like that, they stay with you for a long, long time, and you have to use that sort of energy to fuel you the next season.
Turnover number 15 for Fairfield. Bird drives. Does not fall, but she'll go to the line to shoot a couple. That loss to Notre Dame last year, one of 3 losses for the Huskies on the year.
Terrific defense. Ashley Valley with a little help there from Ashley Battle, but Sue, the terrific decision to take it in herself. Got fouled pretty hard.
So this year the Huskies have 2 Ashleys and they have 2 Valleys. Just different combinations.
It's tough keeping all of them straight, I got to tell you.
Bird now with 21 points after the 2 free throws. Timeout, 7:29 remaining. The Huskies on their way to winning their season opener for the 6th consecutive year. Associate head coach Chris Daly. She has been by Gino Auriemma's side for the past 16 years. This is their 17th year at UConn. 425 wins and 98 losses. Gino, obviously the winningest coach in UConn history, enters the season with a 1-loss percentage of 81.3%. That's the 3rd best among active coaches, behind only Leon Barmore of Louisiana Tech and Pat Summitt of Tennessee. Away from the play, we'll get a foul called on Isadora for setting the screen. Of course, that was a point of emphasis last season, Megan.
Well, you know, you have to make sure that when you do set the screen, you have to make sure that your teammate with the ball runs her defender into you. And that time, I'm not sure, she might have been posting up and had her arms.
That was a pretty nice look there from Ashley Valley to Jessica Moore. 4 points for Moore, and the first career assist for Valley, who, like her older sister Morgan, went to Rice Memorial High School in Burlington, Vermont, a traditional powerhouse in Vermont.
Well, she didn't play a ton of games. She tore her ACL.
Right.
Has recovered nicely.
Many wondered whether she would be back in time for the opening of this season after suffering that injury in her senior year in high school. Left side, just beating the 30-second shot clock was Rusi. Misses the shot, and the ball is last touched by Chartier. Nope. Goes the other way. I think Patty Fernandez saw it right. She just pointed the wrong way. Sometimes officials do that. Just like sometimes announcers.
No, announcers never
say
make
things
mistakes
that they don't intend to say.
We're still employed, so that's a good thing.
At least for the moment.
Things can always change quickly.
Isadora misses the shot. The rebound off the hands of Hammerer to Isadora, who then slips and falls in the corner.
Yeah, just lost her footing.
With 6:04 remaining, this game moving along at a very brisk pace. Hope you can join us Sunday for round 2, UConn and Florida International, right here on CPTV. And should the Huskies win that one, the semifinal would be next Thursday night, the final 1 week from Sunday. I think that's a 5 o'clock start. And if the Huskies are in it, you'll see it on Connecticut Public Television. Huskies won this event 1997. Right side, Conlon no good, and on the rebound, foul will be called on, I believe, Rusi on the rebound.
That's an interesting call. Both Moore and Rusi were pretty even. I think Rusi was grabbing a little bit there, a little too much. You can get away with some of that stuff inside.
I don't know how even they were. Moore's head was about 4 inches closer to the ceiling than Rusi. She's 6'3". Rusi's only 5'11". Now watch this unusual free throw shooting delivery of the redshirt freshman from Palmer, Alaska.
My thighs hurt just watching that.
And it results in a 3 for Conlon following the missed free throw. Maria Conlon out of Seymour High School, lives in Derby, Connecticut. It's part of a great high school tradition there. All they did was win 62 straight games during her scholastic career. 96-4 was Seymour High School during Conlon's 4 years there. Isadora tried to feed Herfer in the lane, but she wound up coming down before releasing the ball. So that's a travel, and turnover number 18 on the Stags. A year ago, Fairfield.
Diane, God bless her. She's saying, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Who cares what the ref says? Just play.
Fairfield was 7th in the Metro Atlantic Conference in turnover ratio. So they had a problem taking care of the ball last year. Rebound in traffic to Ashley Valley. And if she passes out, we'll get a whistle. And we'll stay at this end. Bonita Spence coming together with Frank Geiselman to see if they saw the right thing. Now they're looking up at the clock. It says 28 left on the shot clock. That can't be right. So let's see what the ruling is.
There seems to be a mass exodus here in Campbell Pavilion. A lot of the fans are already leaving. They're spoiled.
At any rate, it's Fairfield ball. And I'd tell you what happened on that one, except I don't have the slightest idea.
We're pretty clueless sitting here, folks. Doesn't matter that we're courtside.
It's the opening night for everybody. By the way, early in the game, I called a Tarazi shot as a 3. Megan and I both thought it was a 3. So did everyone within earshot of us. It was ruled a 2, and coming out at the start of the second half, Bonita Spence, the official, said Did that Tarazi shot look like a 2 or 3? It said sure looked like a 3 to us. So you could, perhaps the officials were a little confused on it. At any rate, Diana.
I think she feels bad.
I hope Diana doesn't wind up her UConn career 1 point shy of Nikisha Sales because of that. Nikisha, of course, the all-time leading scorer for the Huskies and had another standout season for Orlando in the WNBA. And our first look at the 11th player on this UConn team, Stacey Marin, 5'9" freshman walk-on from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So 22nd timeout. We'll see how Stacey likes her first winter here in New England, coming from Albuquerque.
I know, right? And well, what I love about Stacey, I mean, she came in here and she tried out for the team and fit in immediately, and has become an instant part of this club.
Look at that UConn schedule. It will be Florida International in the second round of the WNIT on Sunday. Should the Huskies win, then next Thursday the semifinal. Should they win that one, the final will be a week from Sunday, all here at Gamble Pavilion. And then as we look ahead, St. John's, that'll be the Big East opener on December 4th. Louisiana Tech, Oklahoma, Cal State Northridge, a trip to Old Dominion, and then the Huskies will spend their New Year's Eve afternoon at Wright State, and there's a reason for that, because that is in Dayton, Ohio, which just happens to be the hometown of one Tamika Williams.
So you know, I can't even imagine how hilarious that will be. They are just the funniest people you'll ever meet.
They being?
The Williams, Tamika's family.
Ashley Valley, and she gets on the board for the first time in her UConn career, and she does it with a 3.
Nice work.
Valley was a Nike All-American at Rice Memorial High School in Burlington. Another turnover, and we head the other way. It's turnover number 19 for the Stags. Conlon on the right, down low Moore, and she is fouled hard by Kathy Dash. And we've told you how unique Moore's free throw style is. So far, it hasn't been very successful. She's 0 for 3.
The team in general is struggling. Nice look.
8 for 18 are the Huskies from the line.
A nice dish that time by Conlon.
There we go. Now she's on the way back. This is the earliest game a UConn team has ever played, the 9th of November. Last year they opened their season on the 12th of November against Georgia at the Hartford Civic Center in the
put on quite a display.
Hall of Fame Classic. Last time UConn lost an opening game of the season was in the State Farm Hall of Fame Classic. In November of 1996, they lost to Louisiana Tech. The game was played, the doubleheader, at Thompson Bowling Arena at the University of Tennessee. And the Huskies came back to Knoxville later that season and knocked off the Lady Vols, ending what was at the time the longest home court winning streak in women's college basketball history, a 69-game home court winning streak.
Do you think the crowd agreed with that call or not? How about these fans? It's 87-44, and they're booing the ref.
The Huskies will play Tennessee only once this year, so there will be no more home and home.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It will be January 5th in Knoxville. Last year they split, each winning on their home floor. Held ball, possession arrow is pointing toward the Huskies, or toward Fairfield rather.
Terrific hustle by all involved.
Timeout on the court.
We're going to take a timeout with 3:21 remaining on opening night, and UConn leading it by 43. Underneath the hoop.
Well, what I love about this, you know, there's three minutes left in the game. The game is long over, and yet Hertford and Battle hustling, diving on the floor, not giving up either one of them. That's a good sign.
This the first of 10 games UConn will play this year against teams who were in the NCAA tournament a year ago. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Huskies with 19 seconds left on the shot clock. So UConn will extend its Gamble Pavilion winning streak to 23 and its overall home court winning streak to 29 with the win. In this, the 8th preseason WNIT. And the second one for the Huskies, who won it back in '97 by beating Holy Cross, St. Joe's, Northwestern, and Nebraska.
Sloppy turnover that time. Jessica Moore, bad pass to Maria Conlon.
Over the years, UConn 19-8 in season openers, 12-4 under Gino Oriema. Isadora, rebound, taken down by Dash, who goes right back up, counted in the foul.
Good hustle that time by Dash. Jessica doesn't think she fouled her.
Diane Nolan told me we should be much better in March than we are in November. It will take a while for a very young team to gel, but I expect that will be a very good team. They're playing shorthanded. Francesca Cobb, sophomore from Orange, New Jersey, still recovering from shoulder surgery. She won't be back for another couple of weeks. Megan Light, a senior from Gloucester City, New Jersey, serving a university suspension until December 1st. She averaged 10 points and 5 assists a year ago, and that's the key loss because she does all the ball handling.
But you know, Diane is a typical coach because she cracks me up. She's crying before the game about how, you know, they're going to struggle and they're young and they've played a terrific game. You know, they've done a nice job that first half in particular. You know, they didn't roll over and die. They didn't do anything crazy. I mean, yeah, UConn is more talented, but they hung tough.
Right side, Dash, no good. Rebound to Battle. And she gives to the other Ashley Valley. Left side, Conlon for 3. The third three-pointer of the night for Conlon.
I think she's more comfortable behind the arc at 19-9 than she is from 2 feet.
As we mentioned, last year she shot 42.6% overall, 42.2% from behind the arc, so that would bear out what you said. She had a better percentage from behind the arc than she did from inside it, so she has to stop shooting so close to the basket, clearly.
Stay behind that blue line.
This is Herford to Chartier. Pass deflected by Conlon and stolen away by Marin. Ashley Valley to older sister Morgan. Conlon for 3. Rebound in the lane to Chartier. Chartier, by the way, is from nearby Dayville, Connecticut, second leading scorer in Killingly High School history. Of course, the leading scorer, Killingly High School history, would have to be Tracy Liss, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Former Providence College grade. She scored just a few. Didn't she go to Killingly High School?
A few thousand, she sure did.
Battle. And we're going to get a turnover on the Huskies. And checking back into the lineup for Fairfield is Katie Rusi. This is Fairfield, the 28th year of the women's basketball program at Fairfield, and the 20th in Division I, also the 20th year in the Metro Atlantic Conference. They've won 3 MAC tournament titles and finished first 3 times, including 2 years ago. Down low, stolen away by Morgan Valley, and the shot clock is off with 24 seconds left. Marin looking for her first points as a Husky. Rebound instead to Rusi, and she is mugged by Ashley Valley with 17 seconds left. So
if Marin had made that shot, this place would have erupted.
So what are your observations on the opener for the Huskies?
Well, you know, I think it was a typical first game. I mean, we're used to last year when, you know, the opener was against Georgia and they played flawlessly and pounded Georgia. But I think, you know, there's some things that Gino's going to like and some things that he won't like. But bottom line is, it's the earliest first game ever. So that means less practice time they've ever had. But I know the kids were excited to play against somebody else than each other and Nikisha and Rita and the practice players they play against. So I thought they did some pretty good things. They got to improve on their free throw shooting, yeah.
9 for 20.
I mean, to me, that just says mentally they weren't as sharp and as focused because, I mean, they knew that they were better than Fairfield. And that's not arrogance, that's just reality.
And there's Marin getting on the board. She gets the 3 anyway.
You'd never know the score by looking at that bench.
And Fairfield appears to be content to not take another shot. So Sue Bird with 21 points and 12 assists, her first career double-double, career high in assists. Swin Cash, 18 points, 10 rebounds, her 15th career double-double. Diana Taurasi, 16 points. As the Huskies win going away. 12 points also for Tamika Williams on 6 of 7 shooting. Next up for the Huskies in the second round will be Florida International, a winner tonight in its preseason WNIT opener over Stephen F. Austin. That will be this Sunday at Gamble Pavilion at 2 o'clock, and you will see it right here on Connecticut Public Television. So for Megan Pattison, I'm Bob Picozzi. Once again, the final score, UConn 93, Fairfield 50. The preceding has been a production of Connecticut Public Television.